You think Google will eventually shut out the keyword?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, based on where they have been going, I would I would think yes. They've changed a little bit recently too, though. So Ginny Marvin, one of my friends, Ginny Marvin from like SMX and stuff. So she was
That's
search engine
awesome.
land editor. Yeah. And so I've gotten to know her through that. So go to the conferences and that. She just got hired as the Google Ads like product liaison to like advertisers stuff, which I think is like one of the coolest moves that Google has ever done, in my opinion, because I think she's going to do a great job kind of both. She might need to say some hard things to us advertisers about automation and join or die. And then I think that she understands where we're coming from as well and can communicate internally. So I just, and then you look at things like how they rolled out the phrase match, broad match
Oh
modified
yeah.
changes as well, which was
Yeah.
very detailed, and they're making sure people understand that. That's very different than the recent, the past rollouts the last couple of years, where they basically were just like, screw you guys, like this is what it is. Take your medicine. And anyway, so all that to say that in some ways I'm a little curious to see if Google becomes a little bit more willing again to listen to advertisers like they did in the old days, unlike the last couple of years. That being said, I have, I, like, if I wrote the book right now, I think I'd probably have some different, just at least thoughts about certain things. And the keyword chapter is one for me that I'm like, again, in the process of just thinking. And there's a couple reasons for that. So I still like the keyword. I still think there's a lot of awesome aspects to the keyword being something that like an individual is communicating to you that they're interested about right now at this moment. And that still really is this just remarkable advertising entity that really is not something that we've seen before, of you as a business connecting with individuals telling you right now what they're interested in. What's changing though with the keyword is, and I'm still looking for some data on this, so some of this is my own theory, but I think as I look at our clients and what we manage, we are starting to see more mid to high funnel keywords driving more of our sales and traffic than we saw in the past. We used to see more. Is that what you're seeing too?
Yeah, broad match keywords are killing it for me. And I notice that I don't even, I mean, in certain accounts, I don't even have to pair it with a negative keyword list. Sometimes it's so super targeted. I'm like, this is
And
weird.
it's funny because part of my theory is I'm wondering if two things are changing, if literally like a search behavior is changing in people. So like and that's paired with Google's search, like they just are constantly figuring out how to have better results, serve better results, personalized results, right? And I wonder if those two things together, like, and I've caught that in myself. Like I don't type in long tail stuff. Are you kidding me? Like I hop in and type like two words, and then like Google does a pretty good job of figuring out what I need already, right? So I'm kind of wondering if search behavior is changing as well, and if we're starting to see more like short, what used to be considered kind of the short tail keyword. And I think there's more of that than used to be. And the reason why that's really important to this conversation is because in the old days, again, there was more specific and obvious and clear intent in the keyword itself that I think is disappearing. And I don't even think that's like Google forcing it on us. I don't think, I wonder if that's just part of the industry maturation.
Mm.
And so what that means is when someone is typing in, red hat, Google has all of those data signals on this individual that like I just don't have, you know. And Google might know that they have already been searching heavily in all these different things. They already know the style. They already know like everything about this person, and that they're more likely to buy a red beanie than a red, baseball looking hat, right?
Mhm.
And so by the time, and the user kind of was starting to be trained in that too. So the user hops in and says, yeah, red hat. And then they like buy one on that, what would have used to be a short tail keyword, not a lot of intent in that, right?
Yeah.
Someone else could type in red hat. They're at the beginning of their visit and they're not as valuable. Well, if we as the advertisers are relying too much on the keyword itself and keyword intent, like we're going to probably pull away from red hat terms because, well, there's too short tail. We need to find, that was the old school way. We need to find the long tailed keywords. We need to, go nuts on those.
Mhm.
And that's where I see automation and user intent changing a little bit. And so some of that where I'm shifting a little bit on the keyword itself, because I just think we might be at a point where like Google and all of their knowledge on the users is what is going to win the day, not specifically that keyword itself. So it's kind of where I'm at right now.
I see what you're saying. So keyword-based targeting is no longer just keyword-based targeting. It's a combination of all of Google's data that they have stored on you, which is kind of audience-based targeting as well. I think it's a hybrid, which is kind of genius.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Where in the old days, it was a little bit more of like, it was that keyword itself that was so valuable. And the keyword itself really did reveal a lot of intent, which is how we would adjust our bids, right?
Right.
And I just think that's changed. And part of what I'm arguing that that's changing is not even just simply because of like Google forcing a change on advertisers. I don't know. I kind of think that user behavior is changing as well. So.
And that would make sense. That would make sense. Really astute thoughts. Really interesting. I got to chew on that one. Super mindful of your time.